Few countries in the world create as many conflicting opinions as Venezuela. Mention its name, and people often think of one thing: economic crisis, hyperinflation, political turmoil, millions of people leaving in search of a new life. Those stories are real, but they are not the whole story. Because beyond the headlines lives a country of more than 28 million people. People who wake before sunrise to go to work, children walking to school, families gathering for Sunday lunch, street vendors opening their stalls, fishermen preparing their boats along the Caribbean coast, students dreaming about careers, and grandparents passing traditions to another generation. Venezuela is a country of extraordinary contrasts. It possesses some of the largest proven oil reserves on Earth. Yet many ordinary families have experienced years of economic hardship. It contains tropical beaches, snow-capped mountains, vast plains, dense rainforest, and the world's highest uninterrupted waterfall, Angel Falls. It is rich in natural beauty. Yet everyday life has often required remarkable resilience. To understand modern Venezuela, you have to look beyond the headlines. The journey begins in Caracas. Built within a valley surrounded by green mountains, the capital feels dramatically different from many other South American cities. Towering apartment buildings climb the hillsides. Modern office towers stand beside older neighborhoods. Busy highways weave through the city, while cable cars cross above densely populated districts. Every morning, millions of people begin another day navigating one of Latin America's busiest capitals. The streets quickly fill with buses, motorcycles, taxis, and commuters heading toward offices, schools, hospitals, markets, and universities. Like many large cities, Caracas moves fast. Street vendors prepare fresh coffee, arepas, fruit juice, and pastries before many office workers have even arrived. Small shops lift their shutters. Market traders arrange vegetables, fruit, meat, and household goods. The city slowly comes alive. Yet life in Caracas is also shaped by something less visible: adaptation. For years, Venezuelans have learned to adjust to changing economic conditions. Prices can change rapidly. Payment methods have evolved. Many people use digital payments alongside cash, while foreign currencies such as the US dollar have become increasingly common in everyday transactions in many areas. Small businesses have adapted remarkably quickly. Restaurants, hairdressers, repair shops, cafes, market stalls. Many have found creative ways to continue operating despite difficult economic conditions. That resilience is one of the defining characteristics of modern Venezuela. Food remains central to family life. Perhaps no food represents Venezuela better than the arepa. Made from cornmeal and filled with ingredients ranging from cheese and avocado to shredded beef or black beans, arepas are eaten throughout the day by people from every background. Another favorite is pabellón criollo, often considered the country's national dish. Rice, shredded beef, black beans, and fried plantain. Simple ingredients that reflect centuries of cultural influence. Fresh tropical fruit is everywhere. Mangoes, papayas, passion fruit, pineapples, avocados, sugarcane juice. Fresh fruit juices remain part of everyday life across much of the country. Meals are rarely rushed. Families often gather around the table, particularly at weekends. Conversation becomes just as important as the food itself. Family remains one of the strongest foundations of Venezuelan society. Grandparents often help care for children. Relatives regularly support one another financially and emotionally. Even after millions of Venezuelans emigrated during recent years, many families remain closely connected through phone calls, video chats, and regular financial support sent home from relatives living abroad. In many ways, the Venezuelan family now stretches across continents. Children may grow up with parents working overseas, while grandparents provide day-to-day care. Despite the distance, those relationships often remain incredibly strong. Beyond the cities lies another Venezuela entirely. The llanos stretch across the country as enormous tropical grasslands where cattle ranching has shaped local culture for generations. Cowboys known as llaneros continue working on horseback, much as their ancestors did hundreds of years ago. Life follows the seasons, the rains, the rivers, the movement of cattle. Further south, dense rainforest begins replacing open plains. Small, indigenous communities continue preserving languages and traditions that existed long before modern Venezuela was created. To the north, the Caribbean coastline offers fishing villages, beaches, and colorful towns where life moves to the rhythm of the sea. Every region feels different. Every landscape creates its own way of life. One of the country's greatest strengths has always been its people. Music fills homes, buses, restaurants, and family celebrations. Baseball remains the most popular sport, producing world-famous players who compete internationally. Football has grown rapidly among younger generations. Festivals bring neighborhoods together. Dancing remains part of everyday celebrations. Laughter often appears even during difficult times. Perhaps that surprises visitors most. Despite years of economic uncertainty, Venezuelans are often described as warm, welcoming, and remarkably optimistic. Hospitality remains deeply rooted in the culture. Guests are offered food. Conversation flows easily. Neighbors know one another. Communities often support families facing hardship. That sense of solidarity has become increasingly important during challenging years. Because while Venezuela has experienced enormous difficulties, daily life has never stopped. Children still attend school. Businesses still open each morning. Markets still fill with customers. Families still celebrate birthdays. Friends still meet for coffee. Life continues. And understanding that ordinary reality is the first step toward understanding the Venezuela that exists beyond international headlines. It is a country shaped by both extraordinary beauty and extraordinary resilience. A place where hope continues to survive, even when circumstances make it difficult. And that makes modern Venezuela one of the most fascinating countries in South America. For decades, Venezuela was one of Latin America's wealthiest countries. Oil revenues transformed cities. Modern highways connected regions. New universities opened. Millions believed each generation would enjoy a better life than the last. Today, daily life looks very different. Not because Venezuelans have stopped working, but because almost everyone has had to become incredibly adaptable. Ask someone in Caracas what they do for a living, and the answer is often more complicated than a single job title. A teacher might tutor students after school. An engineer may drive for a delivery company in the evenings. A university student could run an online clothing business. A grandmother might sell homemade cakes to neighbors. Many households rely on several different sources of income rather than one full-time salary. This flexibility has become one of the country's defining characteristics. Small businesses are everywhere. Walk through a Venezuelan neighborhood and you'll notice garages converted into bakeries, living rooms transformed into beauty salons, family homes with tiny grocery stores operating from the front window, street vendors selling coffee, empanadas, fresh fruit, or handmade crafts. For many families, entrepreneurship is no longer simply a choice. It has become part of everyday survival. Technology has also changed how people earn money. Freelancers work online for overseas clients. Young people offer graphic design, programming, translation, and social media services. Some are paid in foreign currencies. Others receive payments through international platforms or relatives living abroad. The internet has quietly connected many Venezuelans to opportunities beyond their own borders. Remittances have also become an important part of family life. Millions of Venezuelans now live in countries such as Colombia, Peru, Chile, Spain, the United States, and Brazil. Many send money home every month. Those transfers often help pay for groceries, medicine, school supplies, rent, or household repairs. In many families, daily life depends upon support from relatives thousands of miles away. It is one of the largest migrations in modern Latin American history. Yet despite the distance, family remains remarkably close. Video calls have become part of everyday routines. Grandparents watch grandchildren grow through phone screens. Birthdays are celebrated across several countries at once. Parents working overseas speak with children every evening before bedtime. The family may now be scattered across continents, but emotionally it often remains together. Inside Venezuela, education continues to be highly valued. Schools operate throughout the country, although many have faced challenges ranging from shortages of supplies to staff leaving for better opportunities abroad. Teachers continue working despite difficult circumstances. Parents often contribute by purchasing notebooks, uniforms, and classroom materials whenever possible. Universities remain important centers of learning. Students continue studying medicine, engineering, law, business, architecture, and science. Many graduates hope to build successful careers at home. Others leave temporarily, hoping to gain experience before one day returning. Healthcare presents another picture of contrasts. Major cities contain hospitals, private clinics, and specialist medical centers. However, access to medicines, equipment, and resources has varied considerably during recent years. Many families now purchase medications directly from private pharmacies whenever they can. Community support has become increasingly important. Neighbors recommend doctors. Friends help locate medicines. Relatives abroad sometimes send treatments that are difficult to obtain locally. These informal networks have become just as valuable as formal institutions. Perhaps nowhere are Venezuela's contrasts more visible than in its shopping districts. Walk through one part of Caracas, and you might find modern shopping malls filled with international brands, stylish cafes, and busy restaurants. Drive only a short distance, and daily life looks completely different. Open-air markets replace supermarkets. People compare prices carefully. Small neighborhood stores sell goods individually rather than in large quantities. Customers think carefully before every purchase. This contrast exists throughout the country. Luxury cars may share the road with decades-old vehicles carefully maintained through constant repairs. Modern apartment towers overlook neighborhoods built gradually over generations on steep hillsides. Two very different economic realities often exist only minutes apart. Yet everyday culture remains unmistakably Venezuelan. Music fills almost every gathering. Salsa, merengue, joropo, reggaeton, traditional folk music. Every celebration seems to find its own soundtrack. Dancing is simply part of social life. It requires no special occasion. Sport creates another powerful connection. While football has grown rapidly, baseball still holds a special place in the country's identity. Children dream of playing professionally. Major League Baseball stars who began on dusty local fields have become national heroes. When international tournaments begin, families gather around televisions, cheering every pitch and every run. Weekends remain centered around family. Sunday lunches often stretch into the afternoon. Relatives visit without needing invitations. Children play outside while adults prepare food together. Arepas are made fresh. Grilled meat fills gardens with smoke. Music plays softly in the background. Conversation flows for hours. Hospitality remains one of Venezuela's strongest traditions. Guests rarely leave hungry. Coffee is offered almost automatically. Conversations begin with warmth rather than formality. Even during difficult economic times, generosity continues to define many households. That generosity extends beyond the family. Communities often organize food collections for neighbors in need. Churches provide meals. Local organizations distribute supplies. People share information about jobs, medicines, transport, and affordable food. These community networks have become essential. They cannot solve every problem, but they make daily life more manageable. Perhaps this resilience is what surprises visitors most. They expect sadness. Instead, they find determination. They expect silence. Instead, they hear laughter echoing through neighborhoods. They expect people waiting for life to improve. Instead, they meet people already finding ways to improve it themselves. That does not erase the hardships. Far from it. Many Venezuelans continue facing difficult financial choices every single day. But it reveals something important. Life in Venezuela cannot be understood through economic statistics alone. Behind every headline are millions of people who continue adapting, creating opportunities, supporting one another, and refusing to let difficult circumstances define who they are. And that resilience has become one of the country's greatest strengths. There is one question almost every visitor eventually asks: can Venezuela recover? The answer depends on who you ask. Some believe the country's greatest days are behind it. Others believe they are still to come. After all, Venezuela possesses something many nations spend decades trying to build: natural wealth, rich farmland, fresh water, minerals, tourism potential, an educated population, and some of the largest proven oil reserves in the world. The challenge has never been whether Venezuela has resources. It has been how those resources are managed. For much of the 20th century, oil transformed the country. As production expanded, Venezuela became one of Latin America's richest nations. Modern highways were built. Universities expanded. Cities grew rapidly. Millions moved from rural areas into urban centers looking for opportunity. For decades, oil paid for much of the country's development. But dependence on a single industry also created vulnerability. When global oil prices fell, government income declined sharply. Years of political conflict, international sanctions, declining production, underinvestment, and economic instability placed enormous pressure on the economy. The effects reached almost every household. Businesses closed. Savings disappeared. Jobs became harder to find. Millions chose to build new lives abroad. Yet despite everything, Venezuela never stopped moving forward. Walk through Caracas today and you will see construction cranes returning to parts of the city. New cafes opening, technology companies launching, small manufacturers expanding, restaurants filled with customers, entrepreneurs testing new ideas. Recovery has been uneven. Some neighborhoods have seen visible improvements. Others continue facing significant hardship. The reality is different depending on where you live. One of the biggest changes has been the rise of the private sector. Small businesses now play a far greater role in everyday life than they once did. Young entrepreneurs are opening coffee shops, clothing stores, gyms, bakeries, digital marketing agencies, and online businesses. Social media has become a powerful tool for reaching customers. Instagram pages often function as shop windows. WhatsApp serves as customer service. Home deliveries arrive by motorcycle throughout many cities. The digital economy has quietly created opportunities that barely existed a decade ago. Tourism also holds enormous potential. Few countries can match Venezuela's natural diversity. To the southeast stands Angel Falls, the tallest uninterrupted waterfall on Earth, plunging nearly 1 kilometer from the top of Tepuy. Along the Caribbean coast lie white sand beaches and coral islands. The Andes bring cool mountain towns unlike anywhere else in the country. The Llanos offer some of South America's richest wildlife, where visitors can spot capybaras, giant anteaters, caimans, anacondas, and hundreds of bird species. Farther south, the Amazon rainforest stretches into landscapes that remain among the least explored on the continent. Few countries offer such dramatic scenery within one national border. If tourism continues growing safely and sustainably, it could become another important source of income alongside oil. Agriculture is also changing. Farmers continue producing coffee, cocoa, bananas, sugarcane, rice, and tropical fruit. Many hope investment in farming can reduce dependence on imports while creating jobs across rural communities. The country's fertile land certainly offers that possibility. Young Venezuelans remain central to every conversation about the future. Despite years of uncertainty, millions continue studying, starting businesses, learning new skills, and imagining lives inside their own country. Many who left abroad say they would like to return one day if opportunities continue improving. Some already have. Professionals who gained experience overseas have begun opening companies, investing in property, or bringing new ideas back home. The Venezuelan diaspora may eventually become one of the country's greatest strengths. They possess international experience while maintaining strong family ties. If conditions continue stabilizing, many could help accelerate future development. Of course, significant challenges remain. Inflation, while much lower than during the peak years of hyperinflation, continues affecting purchasing power. Public services require further investment. Infrastructure needs improvement in many regions. Healthcare and education continue facing resource pressures. Political divisions remain deep. Building long-term confidence among both citizens and investors will take time. These are not problems solved overnight. But history shows that countries can change remarkably quickly. Few people predicted South Korea's transformation after the Korean War. Few expected Vietnam to become one of Asia's fastest-growing economies. Nations are not fixed. They evolve. And Venezuela's story is still being written. Perhaps the most remarkable thing about Venezuela has never been its oil, or its mountains, or its beaches. It has always been its people. People who have adapted through some of the most difficult economic conditions in modern Latin American history. People who continue opening businesses despite uncertainty. Teachers who continue educating children. Doctors who continue treating patients. Parents who continue believing tomorrow can be better than today. Communities that continue supporting one another. That resilience cannot be measured on an economic chart. It cannot be seen in oil production figures or inflation statistics. It is found in ordinary moments. A family sharing homemade arepas around the dinner table. Children playing baseball in an empty lot until sunset. Neighbors laughing together outside a corner shop. Street musicians filling a plaza with music. Fresh coffee served to an unexpected guest. These moments rarely appear in international news reports. Yet they define daily life for millions of Venezuelans. Venezuela is a country of breathtaking landscapes, enormous challenges, remarkable resilience, and enduring hope. It is a place where beauty and hardship exist side by side, where the past still shapes the present, and where millions of ordinary people continue working, dreaming, and believing that their country's next chapter can be brighter than the last. Perhaps that is the greatest contrast of all. A nation that has experienced profound difficulties, yet still refuses to give up on its future.